Oh, well, the only place you'll find God is at death metal concerts and paranormal circuses. Hello and welcome back to the greatest podcast ever. It is the Croak and Crow podcast. I am Spencer Cartier.
I am Sylvania.
Sylvania. That means woods. And this here is Frank. What is he wearing? His birthday suit. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's my birthday. Sound the alarm. Yeah, guys, I officially gotten one more rotation around the sun.
Wonderful.
Happy.
And boy, are your arms tired.
From?
It's an old joke where you'd say, I just flew in from Chicago, and boy, are my arms tired. So you said,
What are your arms tired for?
I just flew in from Chicago.
I hear what you're saying. Can you walk me through the joke?
Like, I just flew in from Chicago.
Oh, okay. And so I just did another rotation around the sun.
And so
as if the earth didn't follow me.
Yeah, and I just used the old punchline as if you flew around.
Well, there's no air in space. So there is
aerospace.
Wings would not work in space. I learned that from Interstellar. How you guys doing? It's been a full week. We are just in the heart of May. We've been waiting for this day for a long time. May 11th.
We have.
Wow, it's sweet sounding.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to be alive. I'm now in my late 20s.
Okay, if you want to call it that. I don't know if that is accurate.
Well, I think numerically it
would be mid-20s.
Oh, so
I think
if you give everyone 3, so
yeah,
21, 22, 23 is early 20s.
Right.
24, 25, 26, mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
27, 28, 29, late 20s.
20s.
I'm still in my mid-20s, ladies.
And they don't know if you're either 24, 25, or 26.
Yes, they do not. And you never will. Unless you want my
identity theft.
Identity theft is no joke, Jim. How you doing?
I'm fine. When do we start, the party?
Oh, the party's already started.
Oh, well, I have presents.
Oh, gifts from me? Presents. Oh, no, I couldn't take your gifts, even though they are my love language.
I have presents for your birthday.
Oh, wow. Stop. That's too much. Your present is... My present from you is your presence.
Aww.
On this podcast every day.
Here's present number 1.
Oh, it's wrapped too. I'm excited. Oh, man. This means a lot. You know what I like about gifts?
I'm not loving my hood. There's nothing I can do. We're too deep into the party.
You can take Frank's hat.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine.
You know what I like about gifts? And I always caveat this. You can watch the Love Language podcast. I'd actually implore you to. But anytime you tell people, you have to explain it's not about the materialism. Because this is enough. Okay. The gift is already given.
Yeah, as people can see, there's painter's tape.
The gift is already given. And that is where the love language is.
Yes.
It's like, I guess it goes along with the other love languages. Like, it's not even like acts of service, let's say.
Right.
It's not, oh, well, I needed my laundry folded and you washed my dishes. It's like,
right.
You did something. That was an act of service. This was a gift. Thank you. But enough chitter chatter. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, man.
It's taped in there.
That is a back scratcher. And for you guys
telescoping
back scratcher. For you guys that don't know, I love back scratchers. The camera takes off 50. You know how it gains 10 pounds of the camera puts on 10 pounds.
Yeah.
That's for fat. For muscle, it takes away 50 pounds. So you guys don't know that, but through this camera, I'm very jacked.
Okay.
The reason behind that story is my biceps are so big.
Oh, I can see how it's hitting. It's hitting.
Yeah. So. And these are my favorite back scratchers. Because like the wooden ones?
Yeah.
That's just like, let me rub a dull spoon on my back.
You're right.
This is metal. I want to be able close to drawing blood.
It's metal. You had one. Well, you need a bunch. You need it in the car. You need it in different places in the house.
The 2 things I need is back scratchers and toothpicks. Anytime I go, I don't
Pointy
realize
objects.
How much I need them until I don't have them.
Right.
This is the spot.
You had a good one. You had a good one. You had a good one, and it broke because over time the telescoping gets loose, and then you go to use it, and it's just collapsing.
But this is perfect. It's red, just like what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
My favorite color.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for my gifts.
I'm not done.
What? Okay. No way, Jose.
Your next gift.
Oh, more wrapping paper. It's a book. I can already tell.
It is a book.
A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh, man. The poetry of Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. You know what?
You're mature enough to find wisdom in what people consider.
And by the way, Mr. Rogers is a hero of mine.
I know. That's why I got it.
Did we ever even have the podcast?
We never had
on
it. You know why? It's one of those things where I'm reluctant because it really needs to give him credit, and I'm so afraid of doing it not well.
30-minute podcast form. But just the short overview of why I love Mr. Rogers is he was a role model to I wouldn't even say a generation, I would say multiple generations.
Yes.
And few people know that he is an ordained minister.
Right.
He's a Christian, God-loving man.
Right.
who dedicates his life to spreading that.
Right.
But made it very clear through his PBS show, through a lot of his work with children, to never bring that up.
Okay.
Because he didn't want to what's the word?
Alienate
any group. He said, I am spreading
you're right.
I am spreading God and Jesus'
just
love
by example. Mm-hmm.
By example.
Yeah.
And that is sort of what we're always promoting on the show.
Right.
And I think we might come down a little hard on the opposite too much. Not too much, but we do always shine light on be careful who you're learning from. If they're speaking through Jesus' name but not acting on it, or what they're telling you is against it. Where I think Mr. Rogers, for me, is the prime example of the opposite, which is nobody has an ill word to say about Mr. Rogers. And then when you do a deep dive, you learn that comes from his spreading of the same love that God and Jesus had for us.
Did you see the movie?
I did not.
Oh my God. Well, and so
now I have a lot.
That's even better.
I have a lot of stuff to do.
But you knew that.
Oh, awesome! Thank you so much.
So he wrote. It's from what I quickly saw, 75 songs from his shows, but he had written them, and I guess as poems, and then somebody put them to music and was able to get them across to children. But
well, you know what?
Yeah,
that's kind of what David did with Psalms. Those are all songs written to the choir master.
There's King Friday, The King in the Ocean. Yeah, so I knew you would like that, and that's for you.
I love it.
Okay.
I'm going to be scratching my back and reading that book all night.
Or maybe you'll be using this gift.
Oh, there's too many. This is too many.
Well, you're in your mid-20s now.
Oh, heck
Listen, I know you know how to juggle.
Do I, though?
But maybe this will teach you, like, extra...
Learn how to juggle.
Maybe it'll teach you extra... Since there are no...
I have an idea. Use one gift for the other. When I give people gifts, I give them, like... I will wrap, like, something, and then I'll wrap batteries. And so you can use it together.
What if they open the batteries first?
I'll wrap scissors. And they'll say, what do I need the scissors for? It's like,
and you want them back, or are they gifts?
No, it's just it fills up a gift bag.
Oh. And as you know, the whole circus theme.
We went to a circus. We never even got to talk about that.
We didn't even get to talk about that because we're still doing this. But jugglers very prevalent in the circus. These are your classic, like kind of like hacky sacks.
I've also never had juggling balls. I've only ever juggled like oranges.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that was good though.
I need to practice.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. You got it. You got it.
No, hold on.
You got it. Where'd the book go? I think the book teaches you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah. Ah!
Well, I guess I have the book now, so I can get a little better.
You can get better, and they're like kind of like hacky sacks, so they won't.
I feel like juggling's the opposite of riding a bike. You do lose it as time goes on.
I can't believe you did that. Okay, last one.
There's more.
Last one.
This is too much. This is too much. Oy vey.
Last one. That's for you.
That's for last. Is this the scissors to open the juggling equipment?
No, but I know you need scissors for the back scratcher.
A sound machine. 16 hilarious sound effects.
For your podcast.
for my edit. This is.
You can just edit in real time.
All right, guys. Thank you for my birthday. It just goes on and on, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. I noticed that in the store.
Well, now that all my presents are gone, I'm kind of sad. Well, you know what they say. It's time for, drum roll please, One Word Wednesday, guys.
I wonder how it'll come up on the
Who knows?
on the microphone.
All right, guys.
Or you can just bring that out with you. Like, it doesn't have to be for the podcast.
It is One Word Wednesday. A very exciting day.
Did you hear what I said?
What?
You could bring it out with you to like the bars and stuff.
Yeah, and when I tell a joke, I just do like.
But hold it like behind you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that people won't know.
Like when I have to tell people like some bad news, like I got to drop a bomb.
I think you need it in your life. Just carry that in your pocket of your overcoat.
Flag on the play. Oh, that's the wrong whistle. That's the wrong whistle. Just walk by a girl and do that.
Oh yeah, you could do that, and then look at other people and be like, "That's really rude."
Yeah. Hey, who did that to that girl or guy? All right, guys. It is One Word Wednesday. It's not just my birthday. It's also a celebration for all of us to enjoy.
Right.
On One Word Wednesday, we pick a word and we got a little itch. And we talk about that word. We just chit chat about it.
Right.
Shoot the.
Is there a sense of?
Oh. we bring in some spiritual significance.
Yeah.
We bring the Bible into it. Mm-hmm. Why not? It's a Christian podcast.
Yeah.
So what is today's word?
Circus.
Oh, it's circus.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So we just went to a circus on Sunday for Mother's Day.
For your birthday.
It was for Mother's Day.
It was not for Mother's Day, because if you look in the old podcast, you'll see that I don't celebrate Mother's Day.
Yes.
And if you look on Friday, we talked about taking you to the circus for your birthday.
I know. We just happened to do an event on Mother's Day, and I got all these gifts, and people are going to start being like, well, what'd you do for Mother's Day?
Every year. Okay, it was for Mother's Day.
It was for Mother's Day.
I loved it for Mother's Day or any day, but every year the Mother's Day and your birthday really are closely together.
Yeah,
and then,
sometimes it falls on Mother's Day if my birthday's on a Sunday.
So they're always like,
yeah, they're intertwined. So we went to a circus. It was a traveling circus.
Yeah.
I think like most are. It was called the Paranormal Circus.
Yeah.
Cirque de Paranormal.
Yeah. Sometimes it said Italia.
Yeah.
On some of the signs, but it was American.
Yeah, I think that's probably just like the company that owns it.
Yeah.
But it was really good. It was like spooky themed.
It's like a Halloween.
Yeah, it was
It was for adults, meaning you had to. It was like an R-rated movie, which it wasn't.
Yeah.
But the rules, like it said, if you're under 18, you can come, but you have to be with an adult. So it was, and mostly just it was like a haunted house vibe. So mostly just for that. There was nothing like about it that it was if a child was scared. It was very loud. Yeah,
it was loud, but it was great. Circuses are so fun. You see things that you don't believe your eyes.
Right.
You can almost understand why they were so popular back in the day, because now even though we are oversaturated with quick entertainment. Yeah. Even still, you're mesmerized by the feats that these people are doing.
So good.
And so you can only imagine back in the day, it would have been make believe. It was insane. Right. The talent of all of the circus performers is unparalleled.
Yeah, because we read the circus book on Friday.
Yes, we read the circus book. I went to the circus, something like that.
If I
ran the circus.
Yeah.
By Dr. Seuss.
To digress for a second, Dr. Seuss, Disney World, which is circus-like. Disney World is closing Dr. Seuss Land.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Why? It's outdated.
Well, because of the controversy, they said, but I think it's because it's outdated. It was outdated, and then there was COVID. A lot of things were closed. That didn't open back up. Yeah. And I think they're just always changing exhibits.
They're always changing exhibits. But how many little kids are still reading Dr. Seuss? Yeah.
The headlines are trying to push that. Well, of course, because I think they might have had, remember, so we read If I Ran the Circus. There was also If I Ran the Zoo, which is no longer in print. Yes. And I think there might have been something about that in there. Not that it was inappropriate, but just that it was hearkening to it. But anyways, so we read that book, and it had all the talked about the different people doing different things. Yeah. Which is exactly what we experienced when we went.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
every
crazy.
seat was good.
Every seat was good.
So even though we were the last seat, we were front and center.
Yeah. And it was just the talent of these people. You would never believe some of these things. Like my thing, anytime I go to a circus and see that, is these people are out there.
I
Like
know.
you, you know what? I mean, I don't know how we're going to transition to the spiritual, but if I may,
On my birthday.
if I may on my birthday, do whatever I want. For me, it shows such potential of people.
Yeah.
Like things that you wouldn't believe. And just with like the physicality and the stunts and the fearlessness. And it really is eye-opening to the potential that we have as humans.
Right.
In all aspects. We see it in a physical aspect in like a circus, but we really are not confined as we may think to living stationary, ordinary lives. Like people can do amazing things.
People can do amazing things. And generally we boil down. So we all have talents and gifts from God. And sometimes that people realize the full potential of that gift. Sometimes we don't, but sometimes people do. But they get really, really boiled down. And then we have like the NBA, right? And that's the best basketball players that have been recognized in the country. And so they're the ideal. Yeah. And, you have like Cirque du Soleil, which it does travel, but I think it also has a home base in Las Vegas. I think there's like 77 performers there. Yeah. It's very, very hard to be in Cirque du Soleil. And so and we can go on and on. Singers and dancers and you kind of think like they are what's out there. Yeah. Yeah. So when I saw the extreme high talent of the performers and athletes and this circus, the ticket was not that expensive. No. And there was a lot of moving parts to this circus, a lot of background people, and just it's a traveling circus. So you have to keep paying to rent the place where you went and for the permits and for gas is like so to move from place to place. And I'm just sitting here thinking not how, but like they absolutely cannot be being paid a lot. Yeah. Because the money's just not there. Yeah. And they were fantastic. Yeah. And it just makes me think like, you don't think that. You think that, oh, well, the best people, they've been picked and they've gone off and they're doing what the best people do. But there's just best people amongst us. Yeah. And that's the thing. You don't know the people you walk among and what they are good at. And it goes to, I think, judging people, right? Like sometimes you categorize people, and I'm sure if some of these circus performers, I mean, circus people get a bad rep already. I'm running away with the circus. Yeah,
you might walk by and judge this person and say, this person is good for nothing, and not knowing the talents that they possess. And that goes for everything. And it's part of why you shouldn't really like look down on people or judge people, because it's like people are amazing in all different ways. And it's not just, okay, well, I didn't know he could do 6 backflips. Right. There could be things that are intellectual. Right. There could just be people with amazing hearts that are better. Like everyone has gifts. Yes. And
yes, even in people were funny. Yeah. The announcer was funny. Yeah. And you talked about their like being risky behavior, the courage that they had. Yeah. Like it does have a license and inspection, I'm sure, for safety, but still it's put up in a few hours, it's taken down in a few hours. And they're just like wildly and boldly just doing these things without overthinking it and willing to take the risk.
And just going back to the, everyone has gifts, is like, say one of these people are terrible in school and don't get paid a lot and don't have a good job. Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, they're not benefiting members of society. They bring thousands of people joy. And and I think even in your own self, not even judging other people, it's like you might, I feel like sometimes be hard on yourself and say, I can't provide people anything. And you don't realize, like if one of those people are getting hard on themselves, I failed out of school. I joined the circus, and it's like, you don't realize how many people you've brought joy and a smile on their face.
That's really, really, really important. When you think of Mr. Rogers, you think of children. You think of Dr. Seuss, you think of children. When you think of a circus, you think of children. Yeah. And like we said, this particular circus, you couldn't bring children. Yeah. And, you know, and it's important. It is important to entertain children and give them everything that makes them joyful. But we are children of God always.
Yeah.
We're people. We're adults of all ages. And so what you were just saying, people were so happy in there.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Above a child's age. And there was people of all abilities, people who, wheelchairs, people of all sizes that might be marginalized at other times, people who like you talked about being judged because it was the paranormal circus. You had just people free with their tattoos and their fashion choices and and they were selling, all the crazy masks and headpieces and everything. And it was just people having fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ticket wasn't that expensive, but it is expensive, right? So it's kind of like a collaboration between the performer and the audience because even though it's not as expensive as Cirque du Soleil, if you don't have money, you don't have money.
Yeah.
So $30 is as expensive as $300 if you don't have it. But these people were like, you know what? I'm going to support these independent artists.
Yeah.
And then the artists were like, I'm going to give you the best show I can give you.
Yeah.
And so it was really it's a joyful time.
Yeah. And now I want to transition sort of into this circus in particular, because this was a paranormal circus.
Yes.
It was very dark.
Yes.
There was even some masks and stuff that I'm sure a conservative Christian would say, this is wrong.
Devil imagery.
This is devil imagery. And I think, back to Mr. Rogers, like not pushing his Christianity.
Right.
I think that too has something to do, like, it wasn't about you brought people that maybe wouldn't have gone to an uplifting, like, hey, let's all
revival,
let's all hug each other and do kumbaya, and you put joy in their hearts. There was love for each other. Like when you brought up people of different abilities, there was one point where a girl with a wheelchair was able to go up and everyone said happy birthday to her, and she was a little punk.
Yeah,
she wasn't a little punk.
She was punk
style. Her
style
was a little punk-esque.
Yes.
And there was just this overwhelming love. And I think we need to get past the tangible, I don't support that. And it's like, well, nobody is being kicked or judged or mistreated. They're being welcomed and everyone is loving each other. And that's what it was really about. If we think of God as love, there was more love in that paranormal dark circus than there was in other places that you might see as, well, this is okay, this is pure.
Right.
And
I totally agree with you. And you're absolutely right. Traditionally, like if you saw the people, the performers and a large part of the audience, you also had just, pretty mild people and still the consideration was given. There was a mother, which I guess was for Mother's Day, and they actually carried her on stage to for her photographic opportunity. But in other situations, you would judge girls in fishnet stockings and corsets, like the magician's assistants.
Yeah, even imagery, a mask with goat horns on it,
right? Fire, a hooded figure with the voice, and like I said, people judge heavily tattooed people. They judge just hairstyles and facial hair. And you would judge them outside. And in here, people were nice. People were considerate. Nobody was going against, what I'm saying? It was for safety. No one was smoking. I don't even mind if they were cursing, but you know what I'm saying? They're really, when you say like no children allowed, literally it was, I think they would have just been scared of like the sound.
Yeah.
And they had Halloween sound effects and lighting and smoke and everything like that. But the people were so very nice, everyone was just considerate to everybody else and truly considerate to these athletes, these performers who, like I said, could not have been paid a lot because the money, I don't know where the money would have come from. And just, gave them a place to perform and to be applauded. And it was just so reciprocal. Yeah.
And, you hear about it a lot. Like sometimes you'll hear the nicest people you'll meet at like death metal concerts.
Yeah.
And like even in the mosh pits that look so scary. It's like they're all lifting each other up. And it begs a question of like, when Jesus was on his mission, he would always go for the outcasts of society.
Right.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people that are, societally seen as outcasts of the society knows what it feels like to be left out.
Right.
And so they want to be inclusive. And it's
Right.
like, they don't want people to feel like how they felt.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, I would say, that those are like, I think those groups should always be the ones that are loving. But I think instead, it doesn't even need to be, oh, well, the only place you'll find God is at death metal concerts and paranormal circuses. It's mirror that. Like make
Right.
wherever your circle is, whether it be just with incense and white walls and button-up shirts, be just as inclusive. Like
Right.
It's not that group is better. Like, oh, well, those are better people. It's the fact that those people are inclusive.
Right.
And the same way people follow Mr. Rogers without knowing Jesus, or without knowing that he loves Jesus, people follow them without. Sometimes they'll go along with the imagery because they'll say, well, that's where I see the most love.
Right.
So it doesn't even have to be go there and you'll find love. It's make where you are.
Right.
Make the church you're in, the group you're in, the friends you're in, make it just as inclusive.
Right.
Never think you're higher than other people.
Yeah.
Treat yourself as those people, and then people will see that from you, and it won't be. And the same way we don't believe in devil horns and stuff, and we went to a thing, we saw love there. Let someone not believe in God and come to you and say, well, I don't believe really in the crosses and the
Right.
Bible that they're reading, but they're the kindest people that we know.
Right.
And let that be what draws
Right.
people in.
Yeah. And be open to new experiences.
Yeah.
We had never been. Literally, the sign popped up on the highway.
Yeah.
I was driving. I saw the sign on the highway. We didn't know anything about it, but we like circuses.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. We were like, wait, why is it called paranormal? All of a sudden we were a little bit nervous. And then we went in, you actually had to like walk through this like Halloween gauntlet. And it was all new.
Yes.
Because like we've been to circuses before and we've been to haunted houses before, but we've never been to this kind of connection. So anyway, it was new to us. We didn't go in with certainty like, oh, we know all about this.
Yeah.
And they're good people and they're really nice. We took a risk, right? And we took a risk that they didn't, when you go through the gates of, when you go through the flaps of the tent, that they weren't putting us in a van and then they were going to take us to Satan land, Yeah. Because we could have left. If we went in and they were doing things that we were like, wow, like I'm really not comfortable with this, we could have left.
Yeah.
So I'm not patting ourselves in the back. I'll pat you on the back because it's your birthday. But
Pat Frank on the back.
because we were open-minded and we were, let's give it a try, we found God in a place that, I don't want to point fingers, but traditionally religious conservative people would never give it a chance because it would say, I don't like what it's given. I don't from the outside of the tent, I'm afraid, like literally afraid. They would never say they're afraid, but I think that's not for me. But like,
and once again, I mean, just to finish up, really, is that not the Jewish Pharisees looking, or just the regular people looking at Jesus walking in with the lepers,
right?
Walking in with the tax collectors. And I know, like, it might seem like, wow, you're comparing a leper disease to people that like dark clothing,
right.
But that's the thing. It's back then. It like now we know these stories and we say, oh, we would have done that too.
Right.
We would have done that. I would have been with tax collectors.
Right.
I would have been with the thieves with Jesus. And you need to look at what's happening. That's always the thing is people think that you have it all figured out. Everything that happened in the Bible is still happening.
Right.
And so it's like, ask yourself, am I still treating modern day tax collectors? And I'm not saying the IRS. I'm saying the same way. And if Jesus was here, who would be the outcast that he would be with today?
Right.
If the Bible was set in 2022, you think that, oh no, things are different now. Like we don't outcast. He would be with these marginalized parts of society.
Yeah.
And don't wait and say, okay, well, once he comes again, then he'll tell me who to hang out with now. Use what you got from the Bible and look and say, who would Jesus be with now?
Right.
And personally, it's if you follow the love, you'll get there every time.
Right.
Just follow the love, But guys, that's my birthday podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy birthday to me. Thank you for allowing me to be born, and keep on trucking 1 year at a time. We'll be back tomorrow for Walkthrough Thursday. Until then, wish me a happy birthday down in the comments. It really means a lot to me. All right. Peace.